hi guys. While we give time for everyone to connect, let's pay attention inside. Take a little sip of beverage. Focus on the mantra Manasvin. Pay attention to the body, to the heart, to the mind. And take the time to center yourself. Manasvin is the mantra. Manasvin is the mantra. And you're focusing inside. Manasvin. And let's start with the philosophy. Something I realized in the past, but it's recurring. The more we are isolated and the less contact we have with people, the more we lose contact with the physical world. If we are often in our house or apartment and we do not see outside, we go in our head. That's what happened. We start to talk to Wilson or to ourselves. And we forget physical reality. Okay? That's normal. For me, it's simply, I'm in my apartment, I play video games, I almost never see outside, there's no point for me. So when we do this kind of behavior, we disconnect from the physical reality. Okay? We dream more. We follow fantasies in our mind. If you see yourself talking to yourself, it's a positive sign. Apparently, it's a sign of intelligence. Probably because if you can't talk, you're dead, so there's no point. So, staying a lot only with yourself causes you to go to your head. It is important to see outside, the sun, fresh air, maybe nature, trees and flowers. This is not a problem for all of you. There's just a few of you. Of us. I'll include myself, of course. So we're talking about this. To connect with physical reality, we have to see outside. We have to walk outside. We have to see the sky and the earth. And hopefully nature. Okay, trees and plants. That's the idea. Talking with other people, physically present with them. Not on the screen, but physically present, is something that brings us also in our body. Of course, the reality of the world right now is not promoting this human contact. When we're always seeing who we love on the screen, like this online class. It gets us in our head. That's what it does. The fact that I can only teach you in class, it educates you as much as I can. But it also causes you to go in your head. The video world, the online world, is not connected to the body. It's connected to the mind. So all this online activity, it makes us forget incarnation. It creates a distance with the physical real. For this reason, I recommend, as much as it is safe for you during this pandemic, see physical people. A handshake with a real hand. A hug with a real body. This is usually what keeps us in contact with our own body. But it's not easy these times. And another thing is the CD combo Manasvin-Nivedin. So that's this practice today, because I have to teach you online through that screen, that this screen puts you in here and disconnect the body. So it's a technique I've taught often, Manasvin-Nivedin. Now we learn that application for talking to the body, being in contact with our flesh. And it's a meditation, or at least a contemplation. Pay attention to the body, but keep your eyes open. Don't close your eyes completely for this one. You want to look at your body. Usually we have a head up here and we look at our legs. That's what we do when we look at our body. We look at our belly and our legs. Most of us. You think Manasvin. Those of you who know transmigration, I recommend you also transmigrate in your body through consciousness. That means think about your body a lot and feel it as much as you can. Manasvin, transmigrate in the body. Physical reality is so important. Being connected to the body encourages health. It encourages longevity, a longer life. The further you are from your body, the shorter is your life, basically. Manasvin with an I at the end. Manasvin. Manasvin. If you want to rewrite that, dear Raven. And Susie is saying, just come to my place and chill. Yeah, well, the reality is, being connected to our body is not obvious when the activities that used to connect us are not present in our life. We say we are connected, but online. The physical body needs your attention to stay healthy. So you look at your body and you feel Manasvin. You think Manasvin. And you feel Manasvin. My mind connected to nature, to my body. Manasvin. It makes sense. The more consciousness you have of your body, the more resource from the higher levels can go down into the body because you're connected to it. If your body has good food, water, quality air, but it never has quality mind or quality soul essence, you can be super transcendental. Are you sharing it with your body? If your body never has the higher resource, it's missing an important component. So it's important to bring the consciousness of self, of the soul, into the body. Manasvin is the first mantra for that. Keeps you incarnate in your body. Mindful of your physical environment and well incarnate. Practice your transmigration without violence, but with willpower. Be in your body. Manasvin. The second part of this little practice is Nivedin. N-I-V-E-D-I-N. Nivedin. Nivedin. Nature has a consciousness of its own. In your body, there's mass. Manasvin is well written there. Yes, thank you, Raven. Then Nivedin is mass has consciousness of its own. You know, trees did not go to school to learn how to be trees. Call it how you want. Genetics, spirits of nature, Nagas, the will of God, call it anything you want. There is something in nature that allows nature to function without anyone to educate nature. Okay? So nature has a mind of its own, consciousness, principles. Okay? So there's consciousness in nature. Nivedin awakens this consciousness. You know, when you do personal growth, you do emotional integration, and you have an awakening. I just realized something. There's a feeling there that you have more consciousness than before. Okay, consciousness awakens. Nivedin allows your consciousness in your mass to have this kind of awakening. It awakens the principles in nature, but consciously. Not just instinct or natural forces. It's not just the Nagas or the will of God. It is consciousness awakening like mass, realizing what it is made of. Okay. So consciousness in Sanskrit, we can call it samjnana. And if it's understanding, we'd call it manasa. Okay, intellect. Nivedin means awareness, but in the most objective way. Physical facts and nature. So, Nivedin, you contemplate it. And feel that the consciousness in your body awakens. With Manasvin, it was your mind paying attention to the body. With Nivedin, it is your body awakening to whatever is beyond, above. Yes, Mass can realize what it is made of. It doesn't have a nervous system. Yes, you do have a nervous system in your physical body, but rocks don't have a nervous system. Trees have a very basic equivalent. Your bones in your body do not know it's part of your body. Your bones are made of rock. So your bones by themselves do not feel like you feel in your body. What you feel in your body is the effect of your nervous system that can pull information in the world of mass into your mind. Your nervous system is a transit between the physical and the emotional and mental plane. Okay? Your body itself does not know it has a nervous system. The nerves do not know that they serve a higher purpose of transiting that information. The nerves exist for their purpose, feeling and flowing information. In the base natural instinct, your nerves do not know they're part of a collective of consciousness, which is you. It is just there. Your bones, they feel like a rock. It's made of the same minerals, more or less. So imagine a rock in nature. If it has no mind, how can it awaken? Okay. So Nivedin, the slow contemplation of Nivedin, it can take consciousness that comes from higher planes and it brings it into nature, and it allows raw mass to feel this awakening of consciousness. It will not start thinking. It's not going to do algebra or think about cooking recipes. Okay? It doesn't gain the ability to think like your intellect, but it can feel that it exists. That's the point of consciousness. It is existential. Nivedin in the dictionary means awareness. Like 6 or 8 other words means awareness or be conscious. Nivedin applies specifically to nature and objectivity. In the practice of Nivedin, nature awakens. It doesn't mean it starts to think like a human. It means that it starts to feel like a soul. Yet, it is mass. Nivedin, awaken the body to its reality. Oh, that will make you physically more emancipated, powerful, efficient. This is why we combine Manasvin and Nivedin to produce a more efficient sense of incarnation. And for any other operation that you will do on the physical plane, physical and vital plane to be more powerful, more efficient. For the body, it means to feel alive, to embrace its reality. Let's go back to Manasvin for a moment. Manasvin is you with a mind. Manas is to think, okay, or the intellect. And Svin is to dwell on nature. Okay. The I-N of Manasvin is in nature. The I-N at the end of Nivedin is also in nature. It means the same thing. Okay. So Manasvin is you are conscious of your body. So Manasvin, you incarnate. You are who you are, focusing on your lower plane of mass. You feel it as it is yours. Only temporarily. Yeah. At the end of life, it will leave you. But for now, you are that body. Manasvin. Embrace it. Look at it. Think it. And feel it. Manasvin. Manasvin. All this screen time, the online connections, the intellectual exchanges we have with technology, it's so useful, but it makes us focus on image and identity, not on physical experiences. We miss the handshake. We miss the hug. The feeling of the wind on our skin, the smell of plants, of trees. We miss that. So it's important to go in nature. And it is important to do a practice where your mind remembers your body. Manasvin. Manasvin. For those who are new to this kind of contemplation, you contemplate the word in your mind every few seconds. Manasvin. Manasvin. And you contemplate what it means. You know, paying attention to the body, being incarnate. But also try to feel. It's a feeling. It's an experience. Feel the body. Manasvin. Good. Now we go to Nivedin again. Nivedin. The body awakens to itself, but it also awakens to you as a soul. Nivedin allows consciousness in mass. Nivedin. Your body awakens. Feel it. Nivedin. Nature has a base instinct, a base program. With Nivedin, it becomes aware of its function, of itself. That really connects us to the body. Nivedin. When I was experimenting with Nivedin, I realized the time it takes for mass to awaken is super long. I realized that if we had done Manasvin before, we would have more mind in the body for Nivedin to work. So I decided to combine. That's how I came up with this practice. Nivedin. Let's do a bit more Nivedin. Feel the bones. They are made of rock. They don't know that they're part of a human, but they can feel you as a soul, as a being. Your organs, they know the organs, the digestive organs, and the heart and lungs, they know they're part of our organism, but they see everything from their point of view. Like your kidneys see everything as there's a world out there flowing through me, and I process it. It doesn't know that it's cleaning minerals. It just says, this goes there, this goes there. You know, your kidney, from its point of view, doesn't know that you are an identity, that you have dreams in life and goals. Your kidney only sees what it experiences. With Nivedin, it can feel you. Your blood, it doesn't know it's in the body. It's just going through that channel, you know. It doesn't realize that there's a heart pumping it. It doesn't know that. Your blood is just there, carrying resource. It takes some, it gives some, and it's always moving, always. Blood never stops somewhere. For blood, the principle of resting does not exist. Like when you sit somewhere and just sit there calmly, blood never experienced being in a single place. When we do that, blood dies slowly. When we put blood, when we give blood to in a plastic bag at the hospital or the clinic, the reality for blood is all this movement and resource. Okay, so just to give you an example from the point of view of nature. So your heart, it's playing, it's pumping. It's like its reason to exist. It's to pump. It enjoys it. Oh yeah, it enjoys it. It doesn't know what it's pumping or why. It's just pumping. It's its function. With Nivedin, it can feel you. Oh, I'm pumping for a reason. Playing with this will not endanger you. Your heart will remain focused on its function. Nivedin allows any part of you to awaken to something greater. But it will still feel and perceive everything from its immediate experience, its reason to exist. It won't do mathematics, it won't philosophize, it won't think about the next cooking recipe, okay? So it's wise to understand how to expand your consciousness of nature. Everything in nature perceives everything from its own point of view. Do you understand that? It's very interesting for us as a Manasvin, as an intellect, as a Manasa, to realize that everything in my body doesn't know who I am. That's weird. It's kind of cool. With Nivedin, consciousness of self can happen in the body. Good. Now we combine both. Manasvin, Nivedin. Manasvin, I pay attention to my body and I incarnate. Nivedin, the body takes that consciousness and awakens to what is higher. Manasvin and Nivedin together produce a convection between planes. Higher consciousness goes to the body, and the body awakens to higher consciousness. The body does not go to higher planes. The body stays in the world of mass, of course. A bit of mana java would be required to bring the body into other planes, but don't screw with that. This is a way to just, this is too advanced, okay? Later, one day. So Manasvin and Nivedin together in your mind, one after the other. It's like consciousness breathing into the body and the body realizing it, using that consciousness to awaken. That is self, that is soul. It is so wonderful. Manasvin, Nivedin. Manasvin, Nivedin. It is good to remind the body that it exists, and for our soul on higher planes to connect to the body in the deepest corner of our flesh and mass. For the body to feel you and to feel it has a purpose, which is caring for you. You care for your body care for your soul. That's how it works. Okay? Your body and your soul are not, it's like lovers, but it's more than lovers, because it's you and you in both cases. You know? So it's not like being best friends. It's even more intimate than that. It's you are your best friend in the higher self and in the mass. Of course you have challenges with your body. Pain, greed and not being satisfied, disappointment, wanting more than what you can have now, various health conditions, COVID world. I mean, there's problems with the body, of course. I understand. That is your ego that has problems with the body. When your muscle hurts, your muscle doesn't know it hurts. It's experiencing a different kind of information. Okay. When you have high blood pressure, your heart completely ignores that. It just finds it harder to do its work, but it doesn't know all these medical things. Just exists from its point of view. The more connected you are to your body, the better it is. I understand that you want to feel the pain less, and you want to disconnect from the body when you are in pain, when you are aging. But the more connected you are, the better life is. The more you flee into your mind, into an online world, which is a blessing in its own, we can still be connected. But fleeing there, using screens and games as a denial, to flee the physical incarnation, it causes more depression. Over a short time, you won't realize it, you'll feel even more bored. But the physical world is boring. Let's flee more. And then it becomes even darker depression. The more in your mind you're stuck, the more suffering you'll have in the world. It's a question of time, okay? Being in your mind is wonderful. It's a blessing. Being stuck there is the problem. Using technology, online contact, video games. Yeah, I point left for video games because, it's my 2-meter TV, 60-inch screen on my PlayStation. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's a blessing. Being stuck there, being addicted, that is the problem. Go out, feel the fresh air, smell plants, okay? Smell nature. And do a practice, Manasvin-Nivedin. The way you... Yeah, Susie comes up with the most funky things sometimes. Let's come to New Vegas. You can't? Hey, let's do online dating. I don't do online things like that. It's so far from the body, there's no point, Manasvin, your mind and the body. Nivedin, the body aware of you. And this builds a relationship. The more incarnate you are, the better life is. Hey, by the way, I don't judge online dating at all. I do online friending. It's games with multiplayer. I mean, it's the same thing. So really, no judgment. Just don't misunderstand what I just said. Go and do cyber sex if you care. It's okay. It's completely acceptable. The goal is to feel physical contact eventually as much as you can. To exist physically as much as you can, to taste the flavors of food, to enjoy the soreness in your muscle after an exercise and the next day, to feel alive. Bring soul consciousness in the body, regardless of how much more you will feel the depression for a short time. It's just for the time to integrate it, which, can be weeks or months. Yeah, live things physically. You will live healthier, longer. And for those of you who are getting older, like, I'm not getting healthier, I can't prove it to you now. I can just say, without incarnation, it's worse. Without incarnation, it's more painful. And you add depression over that. Susie again with her funky humor. In Vegas, many smell a plant called weed. Well, in Canada, first of all, you have to do it at home. You can't just go in the street and do it. And then it's so cold that nothing smells. Because cold air destroys the smells, and all the smell go down to the floor. So in winter, it only smells ozone, like the air of winter, and that's it. I hope this was enjoyable for you, that it helps you understand this online reality we have to use. It's wonderful. But yeah, stay connected to your reality, your physical world. Manasvin-Nivedin. Oh, and another trick, when I'm in my car and I realize I almost didn't see that stop, or I'm lost, where am I going? Sometimes you're stuck in the head and it's like, where was I? Like, I'm confused. Stop your car, it's just like, Manasvin-Nivedin. Manasvin-Nivedin. Bring my mind in the body and let the body feel its presence. Manasvin-Nivedin. Like, yeah, ground yourself. Ground yourself. Manasvin-Nivedin. And then you can go back. I think I taught that. Manasvin-Nivedin Garimashanti Rasavada Kanakayota. I did teach this, a few months back. Browse to the classes. You'll see all the alchemy there. before you can do anything supernatural, you have to be well connected to the world. So, Manasvin-Nivedin, this is why I used to teach it, so that we can then do more supernatural stuff. But lately I do it just to stay physical, because I be in my mind, and then the more in your head you are, the worse is your sleep. Did you know that? The worse is your, the less you regenerate when you sleep. So when you're well connected to the body, you go to bed and you sleep super deep, and your mind is more at peace, and your body and your soul are in contact. So these are all the advantages of doing it. Yeah. Oos. All right. Love you guys. See you next week. Practice Manasvin-Nivedin this week. Next week we'll have a little snippet more about this kind of topic. Okay. Peace.